The following question reads that you're given five options, and the following statements, one of these options is going to be your answer. So the first one is what do you call a positive ion? A positive ion is known as a cation. So for this, the option is going to be it's going to be option B. So that's for the first one. The second question states that an atom of the same element that differs by the number of neutrons. So these are isotopes. For this, the option is going to be C because in isotopes, the only thing that's different between isotopes, for example, I've drawn chlorine's isotopes. Chlorine has two isotopes, one is 35 and the other one is 37. Uh, the nucleon number is different. The proton number is exactly the same. So they have the same number of protons, they have the same number of electrons, which are usually the same as the protons if it's a neutral atom. The neutrons are different. The first one has 18 neutrons, 35 minus 17. The other one is 37 minus 17. That's going to give you 20 neutrons. So only the neutrons are different. So chemically, the compounds are pretty much the same. The atoms behave exactly the same because they have the same electronic configuration. The nucleus only has a different number of neutrons, so the mass is going to be different. Let's move to the next question, which is option question three is a substance that cannot be broken down chemically. And for that, the correct option is going to be E. It's an atom is the smallest indivisible part of matter which cannot be chemically broken down. Although there could be nuclear reactions, atoms can be broken down. They consist of subatomic particles, but those are not considered chemical reactions. So, chemically, uh, in a chemical reaction, the atom cannot be broken down further. The last one is that this question 4 states that the substance will migrate through a salt bridge to the anode half cell. Now, to explain briefly what a half cell is and anode half cell is, I would have to bring in an electrochemical cell. An electrochemical cell consists of an anode and a cathode. Anode is the place where oxidation is occurring, and cathode is the place where reduction happens. Where so electrons are being lost at one end, that's the anode side. Those electrons move through the external circuit, and those electrons go to the other side where reduction is happening, where electrons are being gained. Now, let's for a second focus on the anode side. And as an example, I've introduced sodium. Let's think of this electrode being made out of sodium, and the solution has sodium ions in it. We know, because we already know this, that sodium is a very reactive substance. So, what's going to happen is that there's going to be a reversible reaction over here. Sodium ions might gain electrons to form sodium, or reverse, sodium might lose electrons. But since we're already familiar with what sodium does, sodium is a very reactive metal. Sodium has a very high tendency to lose electrons. So the backward reaction would probably be favored. And Na likes to really lose electrons to form sodium ions. So it's going to start losing these electrons, and there's going to be more sodium ions getting formed in the solution. So lots and lots of sodium ions would be produced, and a lot of electrons would be produced. Sodium losing electrons, so lots of electrons are going to be produced on this electrode. And where would those electrons travel? Since oxidation is happening, those electrons are going to be produced, and they'll travel to the other side, where there must be another species that must be gaining electrons at cathode. So, for example, this other species over here, this electrode is made out of copper, and there are a bunch of copper ions in the solution. We know that copper is very unreactive, which means that copper likes to remain as copper. And we also know that if copper ions are present, they have a very strong tendency to gain electrons to form copper, which means that this equilibrium would be shifted to the right side. Copper ions would have a very strong tendency to gain electrons. And where are all the electrons coming from? Those electrons are coming from this side. All the electrons that were being produced, they are traveling, and they are being gained by the copper ions in the solution. So copper ions are going to start gaining those electrons, and so here you can see the electrons being gained. So the amount of copper ions in the solution would decrease as more and more copper ions are going to get converted into copper, and there's going to be a layer of copper that's going to be formed on top of this. So there's a species that is interested in losing electrons on one side, it produces electrons, and on the other side, there's a species which is interested in gaining electrons, which has a very strong tendency to undergo reduction. So oxidation is anode, reduction is the side which is cathode. Now over here, we are interested because the question was talking about anode. Let's bring in the salt bridge. What was the role of the salt bridge? As you can see over here, on one side, the amount of positive ions. Let's focus on the positive ions in the solution over here. So on this side, sodium has a very strong tendency to lose electrons and form sodium positive ions. So you can see over here that the positive ions in the solution are going to increase. There's going to be more and more positive charge over here. You don't want that, because if there's more positive charge in the solution, these electrons over here would be attracted to these positive ions. We don't want that to happen. We want those electrons to travel to the other side. So we don't want a disbalance of ions to be created. We want to decrease the charge over here. So the salt bridge, what the salt bridge would do is that it's going to, so the negative ions that are present in the salt bridge, the positive charges in the solution, the positive ions are increasing. So those positive ions are going to attract the negative ions from the salt bridge, and they're going to neutralize those positive ions. So the amount of charge in this solution would remain constant. It would not increase. So that is what the salt bridge is doing. It's keeping the charge in the solution in check, so that the positive charge does not increase and the electrons don't get attracted to them, and instead the electrons flow to the external circuit. So you don't want the positive charge to increase. So the positive ions would start attracting the negative ions. And on the other side, the opposite would happen, which is that the positive ions are decreasing. So if there's lesser positive charge, which means that the negative charge would be greater, the salt bridge is going to send more positive ions on that side. As the positive charge decreases, more positive ions are going to get attracted over there, and that is what the salt bridge is going to do. But the question was on anode. So when you talk about anode in an electrochemical cell, the salt bridge sends negative charges, negative ions towards the solution, towards the anode, so that to neutralize the positive ions that are being produced over there. So to answer the last part, which is 4, will migrate through a salt bridge to the anode half cell, the answer is going to be anions, which is going to be option A.